I'm Basia Spalek, and I'm a reader in Communities and Justice at the University of Birmingham. I've been looking at engagement between Muslim communities and police within a counter-terrorism context. Since 9/11 and then the bombings of July the 7th, there has been an increased focus upon preventing terrorism. And part of these efforts to prevent terrorism really is the important role that communities can play. For the research study, we interviewed officers working in a counter-terrorism policing unit and members of Muslim communities who've been engaging with police.
Our work concentrates on dealing with vulnerability, providing support to people who are vulnerable to messages of hatred or perhaps inciting violence. It concentrates on developing understandings and relationships with our partners and our communities. And we're very keen to learn how we might improve the quality of our services in the future. Working with researchers and universities as well is a very good way of getting some independent assessment of how your policies are affecting communities, along with the traditional measures of looking at how many crimes you've prevented or how many crimes you've detected.
One of the important themes that came out of the study is the importance of emotional intelligence. I was surprised by the highly charged emotional context to counter-terrorism. So the best police officers, the best practitioners and community members are those who are very in tune with the emotional dynamics that take place. I think that it's important for police officers to build links with the kinds of people that young people look up to. I think a lot of people have written about the importance of trust in today's society, and that trust is something really that kind of acts as a social glue in society. And certainly some of the work that we have been looking at is it highlights the importance of reciprocity, that to build trust it's a two-way thing. It's communities engaging with police, but also police engaging with communities.
Certainly in our work in dealing with communities, they have expressed that view that they're treated like suspect communities. They've also said that they don't feel there's enough understanding of their faith, their culture or their heritage, and that to some extent they're being demonised by the counter-terrorism agenda. I think the key to breaking down some of those barriers and to dealing with a lot of the concerns that come with the counter-terrorism agenda comes from greater visibility, accessibility and accountability of the policing resources that work in counter-terrorism. But we also have other, what I've described as our flagship project, which was to take a group of 25 counter-terrorism unit officers and to put them back in uniform and to put them back working in communities. And they would be utterly candid about who they were and what they were trying to do, the fact that they were trying to build relationships, understandings, and to develop trust and confidence with our communities to a point where they'd be happy working closely with us to deal with the underlying threat and vulnerability.
The importance of this research is that it's based on the experiences and perceptions of people who've been involved in a very new area, community-based approach to counter-terrorism.
We've used it as a yardstick for what we're doing, and it was reassuring to know that things that we believed in and things that we thought were right in terms of our responses were being backed up by some independent research which was covering a wide range of our communities that wouldn't always interact or give us feedback in the same way as they would do some researchers.
On a personal level, I have learnt that if you have an exciting piece of research, it is amazing how far that research will travel across communities, across policing and other agencies, as well as across political circles. And I think that has been the really exciting aspect to this research study.